let's talk about where you are in your season of life. One of the things I love about living in Nashville is that we really do get to experience all of the four seasons. So, for example, in the summer, we live it up outside. My husband and I are big outdoors people, so we love going swimming, we love going to the lake, we love grilling out, we love experiencing every aspect of being outside in the summer, especially with our kids and how active we are. But then, when the fall rolls around, we switch gears. We're in fall mode. We love going on hikes. We love going to bonfires. We love watching football. We love going on hay rides, taking our kids to every pumpkin patch we can find, and all of the things that make fall so awesome in Nashville. That is one of the things that we love to do. We love to get to switch gears and really experience that season in Nashville. Well, then, of course, when winter rolls around, we do winter things. We love snuggling by the fire. We love taking some hot chocolate, just sipping some hot chocolate, y'all. Do you like marshmallows? My son is adamant we have to have marshmallows in the hot chocolate. We love playing in the snow when it snows, which is fun whenever that happens. We actually get a white Christmas every now and then. We love to bundle up. We love going sledding. We love doing all the Christmas things, and we love experiencing winter to the fullest. But then, of course, when spring rolls around, in about March, we're planting our garden. We are getting outside because we're so excited about the new warm weather. We're picking flowers, just smelling the flowers. Weeds. My son's giving me weeds as flowers, and I love it. I love getting to experience the spring. And then when summer rolls around, we do it all again. But if I'm really honest with you, it's not a specific season that's my favorite. I do love the fall, but here's what I love more than the fall. I love getting to experience all of them. I love getting to transition and experience all of the different seasons in Nashville and the different things that go along with that season. And you know what's interesting is when you zoom out and look at your life, you will find that you also go through seasons. Now, a season in your life isn't going to be a very specific period of time. It might not be, well, it's exactly 3 weeks or it's exactly a year or a couple years. It's going to be a range. But you'll notice patterns to the season that you're in. You'll notice that your life is marked not just by seasons, but by different aspects of your life in a particular season. Let me give you an example. You might be going through one season in your marriage and a different season with your kids. You might be going through a really awesome season at work and a really hard season with your extended family. You might be going through one season financially, and you might be going through a different season in your friendships. There's this ebb and flow and these waves to the different areas of our life and the different seasons that we find ourselves in. But you know what? The Bible has something to say about seasons. If you look at Scripture, there are lots of different examples of people going through different type of seasons. But where it talks about it the most explicitly would be in Ecclesiastes 3. I want to read this to you. It says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace." And then the next verse down, it says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." I love this example because it reminds us that nothing is forever. Our life is the blink of an eye. In the grand scheme of things, in the season that we're in, whether it's an awesome season or a really hard season, whether it's one that we are loving life or we are ready to get out of, it's just a season. It might feel like it defines you. It might feel like it's going to be forever, but it doesn't, and it's not. And if I'm honest with you all, one of the things that I've really struggled with specifically in the last 15 years, 20 years, is as I've gone through different seasons in my life, whether it's a season of singleness or a season of young kids, a season of being a newlywed, a season of a job that I love or a season I remember of a job that I absolutely hated. Regardless of what season you're in, it can be really, really tempting to let that season define you. You look around you at what's going on in your life, what's going on in your relationships, what's going on in your career or your bank account, whatever metrics of success you're judging yourself by, whatever report card you're evaluating yourself on. You look to that as the season you're in, but you look to it to define you. Well, I'm single. I'm going to be single forever. Or my kids are really hard. This is going to be hard forever. I remember, this is a silly example, but I remember when I was pregnant, all 3 times with my 3 children, which I am so grateful for. Please hear me. I'm so grateful for my children. I love my children. I love being a mom. And when I was pregnant, I was confident I was going to be pregnant forever. Like actually forever. Like I would never be able to sit up in bed ever again. And even though I understand intellectually that's just not possible that you're going to be pregnant forever, it really, really felt like it. And while that's an extreme version, and even though I was so grateful to get to be pregnant, it doesn't change that whatever reality you're experiencing, whatever's in front of you, whatever emotions are so real for you right now, feel like it's going to be like that forever. And it's really easy to look at these things going on in your world and let them define you. You know, the example I use of just having young kids, I have young kids, they make a mess. My house is a mess, no matter how much I clean it. Therefore, I think I am a mess. I draw statements about my identity based on the season that I'm in. And I have worked really hard recently to separate myself from my season. I have little kids who make a mess. I am not a mess. What is that for you? What season are you in with your family, with your relationships, with your career, with your finances? Maybe you're in a season with your career where you are working 80 hours a week to build your career from the ground up. This is a really important season. I just want you to know you're not a workaholic. You're not a bad person. You're in a season of building, and this season won't be forever. Shouldn't be forever. Maybe you're in a season of staying home with your kids. The complete opposite end of the spectrum. You are a stay-at-home mom. You feel called to stay home. You want to be home. But oh my gosh, laundry and Legos and lunches and the day-to-day grind of the thankless job that it is to be home as a mom just starts to wear you down, and you start to feel like, who am I? Does this mean I'm not ambitious? Am I not contributing to the family income enough? Oh, you're contributing. There is a value on the work that you're doing. There's a purpose in your placement, as Elizabeth Hasselbeck said recently. And I just want you to know this is a season. It's a season of staying home for you. If that's where you want to be, that's a season. You're not just a mom. Please remove the just when you talk about what you do. You're not just a mom. You're in a season of staying home with your kids because that's what's right for you. So I don't know what this is for you. I don't know what season that you're in that you've been allowing to define you, but I'm just here to remind you that you don't have to. You are so much more than the season that you are in. Your identity is not calculated by the season or your circumstances in your life. And when you remember that and you refocus that and you build your life on that truth, you actually can find strength and grace to get through that season.